Welcome. This is creating viral ads. So, these are some tips and tricks for creating Google ads that have the potential to go viral and attract massive attention. Now, isn't that what we all want? So, let's dive straight into it. First, you want to create interesting content. Doesn't that make a lot of sense? So, you want to have an emotional appeal. You want to make ads that make people feel happy, surprised, or excited. You essentially just want things that make people feel any type of strong emotions because most people make decisions based on their emotion. You want to tell a story. So you want to create a short story in your ad that people will remember and want to share with their friends. Remember, in virality, referrals are very, very large. So you want a lot of shares in between people. You want people to be sharing your ad constantly. That is free advertising for you. So next would be humor. You want to create funny ads that can get shared a lot, but make sure the joke fits your brand. You don't want to be doing anything too crass. Say if you sell like kids' shoes or something like that, you don't want to be you don't want to be effing and blinding all over the place, do you? So next would be high quality visuals. So professional design. You want to use clear, high quality pictures and videos. I'd invest in either getting a very good cameraman or just buy a camera yourself, like a nice DSLR or a mirrorless camera. They can get quite pricey, but you can buy like APS-C cameras. I think you can buy the Sony A6700 for 1,200, and then you can probably get like a Sigma lens for around £400, and that usually gives you pretty crisp visuals. Like I've got one back there, so it is pretty good. I'm using just a MacBook camera right now because I can't be asked to put it on the phone screen and stuff like that. So don't even worry about it. Next would be clear and simple messages. You want to use strong headlines. You want to use headlines that are clear and make people curious. You also want to show your value proposition in the ad. So you want to show why your product or service is better than other people. You also may want to add some interactive elements. So maybe something like a quiz or poll. So make sure your ad's fun by adding quizzes or polls. Or you could do contests or giveaways. So you could offer prizes to encourage people to participate and share your ad. Next would be to use current trends. If you ever see on TikTok where people use the exact same audio over and over and over again, and that just keeps getting hits, it's the exact same thing. You want to use things that are getting put on, like are going viral like constantly. So if that may be an audio, if that may be a certain like trend, like for example, like the Kiki Do You Love Me challenge, if you remember that a few years ago, stuff like that. That was constantly popping off over and over and over again, and everyone was doing it. So that is what I mean. So you want to use current events. You want to link your ad to something that is happening right now or something that is popular in popular culture. Next would be targeted advertising. So you want to know who you're actually targeting in your ad to make sure it will go viral. So you want to use Google Ad tools to show your ad to the right people. Next would be remarketing. So you can show your ad to people who have visited your site previously, and maybe you can remarket them and they may buy that time. So the next would be a call to action. You want to encourage sharing. You want to ask people to share your ad, and you also want people to engage. So like, comment, and share. So at the end of every video on YouTube, everyone says like, comment, share, subscribe, all that jazz, because it just reminds people to do so. Say they won't do it unless you tell them to. That's literally what a call to action is. People won't do most stuff because they won't even have it in their head to do it unless you just tell them to and remind them. So after that would be testing, obviously, because you want to test what works and what doesn't. So you can test different versions, try different versions of your ads to see which one works best. You can learn and improve on what works and what doesn't work. So the next you could do is work with influencers, which sounds like a hoot and a half, doesn't it? So you can collaborate with influencers. So you can ask popular people online to help share your ad, or you could actually send them your product and make sure they generate the ad for you and then use that as your ad copy if they're a very big influencer. So that is what a lot of brands do, and they actually sponsor a lot of influencers. So if you know like Young LA, that's a clothing brand, like a gym clothing brand. They sponsor a lot of influencers and they actually use those same influencers in their ad copy. So it's a 2-for-1 bargain. They get the influencers audience and they get to use the influencer for their ad copy as ads to get even more people in their audience to buy Young LA clothing. So, next would be user generated content. So, you can encourage your audience to create and share their own content about your brand. And maybe the person who gets the most views, you give them a free t-shirt or something like that, just an incentive for them to actually do it. Next would be to optimize for mobile. So you're gonna make sure it's mobile friendly because that's where most people are coming from, and you want it to be fast loading. So you want to make sure your ad loads fast so people don't get bored and leave. Remember, it's the 21st century. People are on their phones 24/7. They have very short attention spans, scrolling through TikTok 24/7. If it doesn't load within a second or a second and a half, they will click off. I'm being deadly serious. So make sure it loads extremely fast. So after that, you want to watch and adjust your performance so you can keep track of how your ad is doing and be ready to change if needed. This is a feedback loop, so you can listen to what people say about your ad and use their feedback to improve it. So you want to constantly be listening to what people are saying about your ad online, or even what they say to your face, and figure out if there are any common trends of stuff that they do like or stuff that they don't, and just double down on what they do and get rid of what they don't like. And that is all optimization is. So by following these tips, you can create Google ads that get lots of attention and shares. Remember, there's no sure way to make an ad go viral, but focusing on making it interesting and engaging will help a lot. So if you found any value in that video, please like, share, and subscribe, like I said earlier. And I also run a Google Ads agency. If you need help with your Google Ads, link in the description. Book a free call to just see if we'll work well together and see if I can actually help you run your Google Ads. If not, that's been me. Take care.